Gopi Janna Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Jai Radha Madhava Kunja Vihari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Jai Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yashoda Nandana Braja Jana Ranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama You speak English? Vous comprenez anglais? So you understand English? Yeah, okay. If there are no nationalists, then we speak English. She has good intentions.
Okay. I mean, yeah, it's a good thing that she just wants to give.
So what is it?
It's so difficult to take money from
1, 2,
good training right from the beginning. Give everything to Krishna.
You can teach her to take it from devotees.
That's mission impossible. Get answers. I did service, one time we got an answer. Prabhu, you have to pay for your devotee service. I did service 1979.
Someone said that?
Yeah.
Pretty good. Some nice flowers. So we are reading from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 2, text 54 and 55. Can you read it? Can you read the Bengali? No, but 54. You read the Bengali, okay. Take the book. Give her the book. She will read it properly. I will just make a fool out of myself. We're repeating the next one, so she just read it. That's it. She was trying to teach me this morning, but yeah, like it says la iya, loya, and then what is the next word? We would say vyavahara, babohara. So that's I could not figure out on my own. Babohara. Babohara. So, although these three features of the Lord deal directly with the material energy, none of them are touched by it. They are all beyond illusion. And then we come to the verse that we will recite together in Sanskrit. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. So please repeat. Etat ishanam ishasya prakritistopi tadgunaihi na yujjate sadatma stair yata bhutistat asraya etat ishanam ishasya prakritisto pitat gunaihi na yujjate sadatma stair jata buddhistat asraya etat ishanam ishasya prakritisto pitat gunaihi na yujjate sadatma stair Yata buddhis tat ashraya. Etat ishanam ishasya. Prakritistopi tad gunahi. Na yujyate sadatmastar. Yata buddhis tad asraya. Etat ishanam ishasya. Prakritistopi tad gunai. Na yujyate sadatmastar. Yata buddhis tad asraya. Ladies? It's written. Etad ishanam ishasya. Prakritisto pitad gunai. Na yujyate sadatmastar. Yata buddhis tad asraya. Etad. This. Ishanam. Opulence. Ishasya. Of the Supreme Lord. Prakritistaha. Situated in the material nature. Api. Although. Tat. Of. Maya gunaihi. By the qualities. Na. Not. Yujyate. Is affected. Sada. Always. Atmastaihi. Which are situated in his own energy. Hiyata. As also. Buddhihi. The intelligence. Tat. Of him. Asraya. Which has taken shelter. This is the opulence of the Lord. Although situated in the material nature, he is never affected by the modes of nature. Similarly, those who have surrendered to him and fixed their intelligence upon him are not influenced by the modes of nature. Purport. This text is from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:11-38. Those who have taken shelter of the lotus feet of the personality of Godhead do not identify with the material world, even while living in it. Pure devotees may deal with the three modes of material nature, but because of their transcendental intelligence in Krishna consciousness, they are not influenced by the material qualities. The spell of material activities does not attract such devotees. Therefore, the Supreme Lord and his devotees acting under him are always free from material contamination. Om Agnana Timidandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshuronmilitan Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimadhe Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschachari Shatarine Vancha Kalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. So, we can say that this is true if you take shelter of Krishna, that we are never affected by the modes of nature. So if we happen to be affected by the modes of nature, it means that we have not taken 100% shelter of Krishna's lotus feet, which is the case of most of us. Just to be a little bit realistic. Sometimes it's not bad. In the beginning we think all devotees are saints. It's not bad, because then you don't commit offenses. There is this idea that in the beginning, in Krishna consciousness, you get some special mercy. You may have heard about this idea. But what happens is that we always get special mercy. But in the beginning we don't commit offenses because we think all devotees are saints. This is my understanding. Then we get to know them and we start committing offenses. So that special mercy is still there, but because of the offenses it may fade a little bit. But it's always there, isn't it? So also a point about not being influenced by the modes of nature. Let's say we should not be influenced by at least the modes of passion and ignorance. We should come to the mode of goodness. That's a big step, especially for Westerners, to come to the mode of goodness. Indians, it's not so difficult. Following the four regulative principles is kind of, I mean, maybe I imagine, but I imagine that it's easier for Indians and maybe other people in other places in the world. But Westerners, it's more difficult for us. I speak for myself, at least. Then we should also not imitate great personalities like Srila Prabhupada. Once Prabhupada said, the difference between me and you, his disciples, I don't know where this is from, but I have heard this quoted several times. The difference between you and me is that I can walk, Prabhupada, I can walk into a room of naked women and not be affected. You can't. So, or just like Lord Shiva, what was he doing? He was meditating on Ram, of course, in deep samadhi, and Parvati started touching his genitals. He was not affected. We cannot imitate. We should not imitate. Shiva did so many things. He drank an ocean of poison. So some Shiva Babajis, they take it as a license to smoke ganja, because Shiva was taking poison. But that does not mean that we can do. What about Krishna? Krishna was dancing with other people's wives in the middle of the night. Many of them. How many? I think unlimited number. We can't do that. We should not do that. So we are definitely under the grip of the modes of nature. Let us just admit it and try to move forward. I was looking for a verse from the Bhagavad Gita. It starts with, it's an answer to a question. It is lost only. Do you know this verse?
Kamesha, Krodesha, Rajoguna, Samudbhava, Mahasana.
Mahasana Mahapatma. It is the greatest enemy of, what is the, which is the chapter, do you know? Third chapter. It starts with Kama,
Kamesha, Krodesha.
Kamesha Krodesha. Try to find it. Kamesha. You sure it starts with
Yeah.
Kameshwa? Kama Esha Krodha Esha? That one?
Yeah.
337. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Kama Esha Krodha Esha. Okay, because you put Kamesh, you put it together. So I didn't understand. Rajoguna Samudbhava Mahashano Mahapapma Vityedam Ihavairinam. So it is an answer to a question by Arjuna. Arjuna asked Krishna, what is it that impels you to sinful acts? What is it? Even unwillingly. You know you shouldn't do it. We know this scenario, right? We know we shouldn't do it, but still we do it. We're being pushed by some force. Sometimes we think afterwards, why did I do it? I shouldn't have done it. So Krishna says, it is karma. It is lost only. It is not Krishna. So we are affected by this lust. And later on, Krishna is also explaining how this lust has taken over strategic places in the body and in the subtle body also. Just like the enemy has conquered the castle, and the lust is in our intelligence. That's maybe the worst place. We don't even think about it. People don't even think that what they're doing is wrong. As a matter of fact, people think it's perfectly normal to, for example, to have illicit sex. It's actually bad if you don't vent that lust. This is the modern idea. It's just like you have steam in a closed compartment, and if you don't let the steam out, it's going to explode. So this is wrong, because this lust, Krishna also explains that when we turn away from Krishna, when we fall down, this love of God, we have this love of Krishna inside our heart, it turns into lust. We have this love of God naturally, it's already there. But it has been transformed into lust, so that lust is now our greatest enemy, but people don't even recognize that. People think that it is our big friend, and we should increase it more and more, make it stronger. In fact, the whole world is turning around this sex desire. That's what it's all about. And we can say we need it for progeny. We need also to continue the ISKCON movement, so we need to make babies. At least we have to try. So this lust can be also used in Krishna's service. If it is done for begetting children that you try to raise in Krishna consciousness, I say try to raise because they may not want to be that you can do your best. So that will be Krishna conscious. So that lust can be used also. But it should be minimized. So, yeah, people think that it is perfectly normal to be sinful. I had a verse from, now I quoted Shastra, and I'm going to quote some non-Shastra. See, do you have any internet here? I'm going to see if I can find. Is it working?
Yes.
It's maybe not good that it's working, then everybody will be in Maya.
We have restrictions. We turn it off at night.
Really? Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah. So this I heard actually Bhakti Vikaswami quote this person, so I will also do it. So you all know Tolkien. Mm-hmm. It's not Tolkien, but he was a very intimate friend of Tolkien, and both of them were very religious. So his name is C.S. Lewis. Maybe someone have heard about this. He made children's books. One of them, the most famous, is called The Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. You don't know this? Anyway, so he has many religious quotes, and here is one about temptation. Speaking about that, following the temptation, following the lust, most people think it's perfectly okay. They don't even think it's wrong. And so he says, even in literature, oh, well, this is the wrong one. Final one. That was the wrong one. Sorry about that. Oh, here it is. A silly idea is current that good people do not know what temptation means. This is an obvious lie. Only those who try to resist temptation know how strong it is. A man who gives in to temptation after 5 minutes simply does not know what it would have been like an hour later. That is why bad people, in one sense, know very little about badness. It's very interesting. Eh? They have lived a sheltered life by always giving in. So the whole idea that there's good and bad is, of course, because this person believes that God has laws, right? People don't even, more and more, they don't even believe there's good and bad, because if there's no God, who defines good and bad? We do. And we can see how the world is changing now so much, so radically, into degradation, right? I have some American customers, they are horrified about the Trump administration. They're kidnapping people, sending them away. I have a customer, she's American, she lives in Écueillé. She can't get her pension. She was born in France. She left when she was a little girl during the Second World War II. So she lived and worked and paid tax in America all her life. Then she moved back 2 years ago to France. She can't get her pension now. So like that. things are happening in the world now, that very significant changes. We know why, and it's not for the good. It's for the worse. We know why. Because the lack of Krishna consciousness. They don't know what is good and what is bad. What before was bad, even 30 years ago, it has become okay. It's okay to lie. It's okay to cheat. If you become a leader nowadays, it doesn't matter so much anymore if you have good qualities. If you have money, it's okay. If you have money, you can even cheat in the elections. That is going on. Okay, in democracy you vote, so some of it is because of vote, but at least half of it is because of your money and connections with rich people. So like that. Good qualities are getting more and more out, and just having money, just being influential, then you can reach the top. It used to be the Brahmanas. They were on the top. The Brahmanas in India now, they have given up chanting mantras, and they went into IT. It's a kind of mantras also, isn't it? Maybe he's into IT, I don't know. That's also a degradation. So, people who are bad, like he said here, they don't even understand their badness. People who are evil, they think they're very good. Like Hitler thought he was very good. He was doing everything for Deutschland. In his mind, it was okay. He was not, he didn't have any second thoughts, obviously. And so many other, it's easier to take an example that's a little bit far away. So we have to recognize the badness in our heart, that we have turned away from Krishna. And if we don't recognize it, we cannot make any progress. We have to understand that we have bad things in our heart, and we need to clean it out. Chetudar Paramajanam. We need to clean with the holy name, which is so powerful. We don't know how powerful the holy name is. I had a customer, he just left his body. He was old, but he said Hare Krishna many times. I remember he said, he's also from ISKCON. He's English. He knew that I was a devotee. So one day he said, I just want to ask you something. Can I say Hare Krishna? Yes, you can say Hare Krishna as much as you want. The more you say, the better. Okay, Hare Krishna. So just by saying a few times, he will take birth as a human being, at least. At least. Even though he was drinking so much liquor, he was down at the pub in ISKCON, he was known as Large Beer. That was his nickname. But he said Hare Krishna. So he will go to a higher destination. We don't know how powerful the holy name is. But maybe we can see in our own lives. Just look at, I can speak for myself, look at where I was like 20 years ago and how I changed into what I am now. It's a miracle. It's a big miracle. I would have been in the same pub, you know. They would have called me something similar. You know what they used to call me?
Small beer.
No. They called me the beer pig. I can't translate it from Danish. the beer pig. Yeah, because I was the one who could drink the most beer of all my friends. I was famous for that. So you can you can see that, at least in our own lives, we can see how the holy name is working, you know. So we are so fortunate. We have got this process given by Srila Prabhupada, and they're Prabhupada. He's calling. Prabhupada is calling. Prabhupada is calling all of us. Okay. Prabhupada's disciples are calling. So, maybe you have some comments. Any questions?
I just wanted to comment that this is a significant point according to the translation. Although he is situated in the material nature, is never affected by the modes of nature. Even like devotees, next line says, similarly those who are surrendered to him and fix their intelligence upon him are not also influenced by the modes of nature. So very two significant points. One, first point is, usually impersonalist thinks that when the soul, when Krishna descends, they think that he also came under material modes. He is also affected by material modes. But it's very clear, Srimad Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita makes it very clear that the Supreme never comes under the modes of nature. He is not influenced. He is coming to do a certain task. I mean, it's amazing to see even like the pure devotees, like any devotee. It's not like only like advanced acharyas or gurus, but it is even nice to see that surrender to him and fix their intelligence. For the devotees, that's the translation given here. Who are not influenced by the modes of nature. So it's two significant points.
One thing about not being influenced by the modes of nature, which is very powerful, at least if you have your senses at least a little bit under control, people will notice, and they appreciate so much. Especially in times of, in situations where you ought to be disturbed, you have even a right to be disturbed. You can say it's normal to be disturbed. If you keep your head cool when everyone else loses their head, it's very powerful, and people, they appreciate so much. Sometimes I have experience from some jobs I had. I worked in a kindergarten, and everybody were losing their head and panicking, and the times when I kept my head cool, that was so much appreciated. People notice when we develop good character. They also notice that we look different and we do different things, but they really notice when the character is changed. Everybody can appreciate. That is very powerful preaching, I think.
Krishna book Prabhupada writes, the greatness of a person is, the greatness of a person is estimated by how much one can resist and paraphrasing, provoking situations.
Yeah. Yeah, because you cannot show, it's not, we show our greatness. It's not that we want to be great, we want to serve the great Krishna. But you can say you cannot show your good qualities unless there is obstacles. If everything is nice, there's no problems, it's easy. Everyone can be nice, right? But once there is opposition, then you show who you are. Then it's revealed, the character is really revealed, how you react. That's very interesting. That's very interesting to see what will, I think Krishna he's thinking sometimes, okay, what will he do if I do like this? How is he going to react? How is my devotee going to react if I don't give him what he is expecting, or if I take away a little bit here? What's going to happen? And if we just continue serving Krishna without we don't waver, we keep on doing our duty, then I think Krishna will be very satisfied with that mentality. That just like, what does he say to Arjuna? Don't consider success or failure, honor and dishonor. The second chapter, I think. Just fight for the sake of fighting. Yujasva. That's another one. But he's saying to him, you should fight for the sake of fighting. Don't consider success or failure. That is not your problem. That is Krishna's problem, in one sense. And that's an extreme example. He's a soldier. So what does success or failure means? It means he may be killed. He may live, he may be killed. Don't worry about that. That's pretty heavy. So at least we should, we may not be, we can get killed also. So that's, if you can stay fixed in Krishna consciousness through good and bad, if you can stay fixed in your relationship to your partner also, through thick and thin, that's another point of the same subject. People quit very easily, right? If there's some little obstacle, people, they have a tendency, they quit. I get divorced, I quit my job, I don't want to work with these people, they're too difficult, like that. We quit too much. We have to stick to our duty and chant Hare Krishna. Then Krishna will be very satisfied with us. We chant Hare Krishna, that is also a duty, very important, most important. But we also stick to our material duty, that is not to be neglected. Sometimes we neglect out of ignorance, like Arjuna. I don't want to fight. Krishna says you have to fight. I don't like it. Doesn't matter. Sometimes we have to do things we don't like. So, any more comments? What about our guests here?
Wonderful class, very good points.
Give me some opposition, so I can show my good qualities, if I have any. Where are you from?
London.
Okay. London, but you moved?
Originally from Mumbai.
Yeah, I can hear you have not been born in London, correct? Yeah, we have just been to Mumbai, me and my wife. A few days. We went to Juhu, and then we went to Nashik. Okay. Hare Krishna.